71-year-old woman named Carol from Scottsdale, Arizona, thought she had done everything right. She and her husband had saved for 30 years. They had the house paid off. They had a pension, Social Security, and a modest investment account. When her husband retired at 68, they celebrated with a cruise to Alaska, then another one to the Mediterranean, then a kitchen renovation, then a new car for each of them. By year 3 of retirement, Carol sat across from a financial planner she had never met before, and she was shaking, not from age, from fear. Because, for the first time in her adult life, Carol could see the bottom of her savings. And nobody had warned her this could happen. Carol is not alone. Millions of Americans retire every single year believing the hard part is over. And in many ways, it is. But what nobody tells you is that retirement comes with a completely new set of financial and emotional traps. Traps that can quietly hollow out everything you spent a lifetime building. Today on Retirement, we are going to walk through the 5 most dangerous mistakes retired Americans are making right now. Not to scare you, but to protect you. Because the earlier you catch these mistakes, the more time you have to course correct. Let us get into it. Mistake number 1, spending like the party will never end. A 67-year-old retired schoolteacher from Columbus, Ohio named Ronald finally had what he had dreamed about for decades. Time, no alarm clocks, no lesson plans, no parent-teacher conferences. Ronald's pension gave him a steady $2,800 a month, and his Social Security added another $1,600 on top of that. He felt flush. He started eating out 4 or 5 nights a week. He booked a fishing trip to Montana. He helped his daughter with a down payment on a house. He bought a boat he had always wanted. Within 18 months, Ronald had spent through $40,000 of his savings without once sitting down to calculate what that pace would cost him over a 20-year retirement. Here is the truth that almost no one tells new retirees. The first 2 years of retirement are the most financially dangerous years of your entire retired life. Researchers call it the retirement honeymoon phase. You feel free, you feel like you have finally arrived, and every single financial impulse you suppressed during your working years starts knocking at the door at once. The problem is that retirement is not a 2-week vacation. It is a 20, 25, possibly 30-year chapter of your life. And the money you spend in year 1 is money that cannot grow and compound for year 20. Financial planners often recommend what is called the 4% rule as a rough guide. In simple terms, it means you should plan to spend no more than 4% of your total savings per year so your money lasts for 30 years. For most retirees, that number is significantly smaller than what they are actually spending in those early years. The fix is not deprivation. The fix is intentionality. Sit down with a real monthly budget built for retirement life. Separate your needs from your wants. Give yourself a discretionary fund budget and honor it. Freedom in retirement is real, but it must be structured, or it will quietly bankrupt the life you worked so hard to build. Mistake number 2, taking Social Security at the wrong time. A 62-year-old man from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, named Gerald had been counting the days. The moment he was eligible for Social Security, he filed. He was tired of working. His back hurt, his savings felt thin, and the $1,030.40 a month felt like a lifeline. What Gerald did not know was that if he had waited just 4 more years, until age 66, his benefit would have been $1,870 a month, and if he had stretched to age 70, it would have been $2,420. Over a 20-year retirement, Gerald left more than $250,000 on the table by filing early. Social Security timing is one of the most consequential financial decisions a retired American can make, and most people make it based on emotion rather than math. The rules are straightforward, even if the decision is hard. For every year you delay Social Security past your full retirement age, your benefit grows by approximately 8%, 8% guaranteed. There is almost no investment in the world that gives you a guaranteed 8% return. Now, early filing is not always wrong. If you have serious health issues, if you need the income now, or if you are single without dependents, the math may shift in your favor. But for most married couples, and for most people in reasonable health, waiting as long as financially possible to claim Social Security is one of the most powerful wealth preservation tools available. If you are still within the window to make this decision, talk to a fee-only financial advisor before you file. One conversation could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of your retirement. Mistake number 3, losing your sense of purpose. A 69-year-old retired engineer from Charlotte, North Carolina named David had built bridges for 35 years. Literally. He had designed infrastructure that millions of people drove over without a second thought. When David retired, his colleagues threw him a party, gave him a plaque, and told him he was a legend. He drove home that Friday afternoon feeling like the luckiest man alive. By the following Tuesday, David was sitting in his recliner at 11 in the morning watching television he did not care about. His wife was still working, his kids lived in other states, his friends from the office had moved on. Within 6 months, David had gained 18 pounds. He was drinking more than he ever had in his working years. His doctor told him his blood pressure was dangerously elevated, and when his wife finally sat him down and asked what was wrong, David started to cry. He said he did not know who he was anymore. This is not a rare story. Research from institutions including Harvard Medical School has found that retirement significantly increases the risk of depression and social isolation, particularly among men. The loss of professional identity, daily structure, and built-in social contact from the workplace can create a psychological vacuum that, if left unfilled, causes real physical damage. Heart disease, cognitive decline, weakened immune function. These are not small risks. Retirement without purpose is one of the most underreported health crises facing older Americans today. The solution is not to go back to work, though many retirees find part-time or consulting work deeply fulfilling. The solution is to replace the structure and meaning that work provided. That might look like volunteering for a cause you care about deeply. It might be mentoring younger people in your field. It might be joining a club, a faith community, a travel group, or a class at a local community college. The activity matters less than the intention behind it. You need a reason to get up in the morning that goes beyond your own comfort. Retirees who report the highest levels of well-being are almost universally the ones who stay socially connected and who feel they are contributing something to the world around them. Do not let retirement become a slow retreat from life. Stay in the world. Stay useful. Your health depends on it more than you know. Before we get into mistakes 4 and 5, if this video is giving you value, please take a moment right now to subscribe to Retirement Today and hit that bell icon. We put out honest, practical content every week specifically for people in or near retirement. No fluff, no sales pitches, just real information that can protect your future. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a video. Now, back to it. Because mistakes 4 and 5 are the ones that catch the most people completely off guard. Mistake number 4, underestimating healthcare costs. A 66-year-old retired nurse from Tampa, Florida named Patricia knew more about healthcare than most people ever would. She had spent 30 years on hospital floors. She understood diagnoses, medications, insurance codes, and yet when she retired at 63, 3 years before Medicare eligibility, she was blindsided. The private insurance plan she bought to bridge the gap cost her $890 a month. Then her husband had a cardiac event. The bills, even after insurance, totaled over $28,000. Patricia had not budgeted for any of it. By the time Medicare kicked in, she had already drawn down nearly $60,000 from savings she had intended to leave completely untouched until her mid-70s. Healthcare is the single largest unplanned expense in American retirement. According to Fidelity's annual retiree health cost estimate, a couple retiring today at age 65 will need approximately $315,000 in after-tax savings to cover healthcare costs through retirement. That number does not include long-term care. It does not include dental, which Medicare largely does not cover. It does not include vision or hearing aids. Most retirees dramatically underestimate what healthcare will cost them because for decades their employer absorbed most of that cost invisibly. Now that responsibility has shifted entirely to you. There are several steps you can take right now. If you are not yet 65, understand exactly what your bridge insurance options are and budget for the real cost, not the number you hope it will be. Once you are on Medicare, study your plan carefully. A Medicare supplement or Medigap plan can protect you from catastrophic out-of-pocket costs. Consider whether a long-term care insurance policy or a hybrid life insurance policy with long-term care riders makes sense for your situation. And keep a dedicated healthcare emergency fund separate from your general emergency savings. Healthcare will be one of your biggest retirement expenses. Treat it like one. Plan for it with the same seriousness you gave to saving for retirement in the first place. Mistake number 5, trusting the wrong people with your money. A 74-year-old widow from Phoenix, Arizona, named Margaret, had never handled the finances during her marriage. Her husband had always taken care of it. When he passed away at 71, Margaret was suddenly alone with $400,000 in savings, 2 life insurance payouts, and absolutely no idea what to do next. A man she met through her church offered to help. He was warm. He was patient. He used terms she recognized from television commercials. He told her he specialized in helping widows and retirees. Within 2 years, Margaret had lost $180,000. The annuity products he sold her were loaded with fees she had never been shown in plain English. Some of the commissions he collected were so high they would have been illegal in several other states. Margaret was not foolish. She was trusting. And the financial services industry, for all of its legitimate professionals, still contains a troubling number of people whose primary interest is their own commission check, not your retirement security. This mistake is devastatingly common. Elder financial abuse and exploitation cost Americans over $28 billion per year, according to the AARP Public Policy Institute, and it is not always strangers. It is sometimes advisors who are technically legal, but whose incentives are deeply misaligned with yours. Here is what you need to know. Not every financial advisor is required to act in your best interest. Only advisors who are legally classified as fiduciaries are required by law to put your interests ahead of their own compensation. Always ask any advisor whether they are a fiduciary at all times, not just part of the time. Seek out fee-only advisors who charge a flat fee or an hourly rate and who do not earn commissions on the products they recommend. You can find vetted fee-only fiduciary advisors through the National Association of Personal Financial Advisors, also known as NAPFA. Be especially careful with annuity products, whole life insurance sold as investment vehicles, and any product that promises unusually high guaranteed returns. Before signing anything, take the documents home, sleep on them, and, if possible, have an independent advisor or a trusted adult family member review them. Your life savings took decades to build. It deserves that level of protection. Do not let urgency, social pressure, or the desire to trust someone cause you to skip that step, not even once. Here is the hard truth about retirement that no one in a commercial will ever tell you. The work does not end the day you stop working. It changes. It becomes the work of protecting what you built, staying engaged with life, and making decisions with the kind of intention and care that will determine what the next 20 years look like for you. Carol from Scottsdale eventually got her finances back on track. It took hard conversations and 2 years of disciplined rebuilding. But she did it, and so can you. The 5 mistakes we talked about today, overspending in those early years, claiming Social Security too soon, losing your sense of purpose, underestimating healthcare, and trusting the wrong people with your money, none of them are irreversible if you catch them early enough. And now you know what to look for. If this video helped you or someone you love, please share it. Send it to a friend who just retired or who is about to. Subscribe to Retirement Today if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell so our next video comes straight to you. We are here every week with the real information you need to protect your retirement, your health, and the life you worked your whole life to have. You earned this chapter. Make it count.